never forget, I was doing the test, and the dreaded thing in Australia you do not want, you either have a 3-point turn or a reverse parallel park. You don't want the reverse parallel park. You always want the 3-point turn. 3-point turn is a piece of piss.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so easy. You definitely wouldn't fail having the 3-point turn.
Yeah. Oh, no. Did you?
Yeah, dude. Wait,
did you actually?
Hang on a sec. So,
you failed the 3-point
Yeah,
turn.
because, all right. So, when I went for mine. Public transport.
Yeah, that's a good way to start it, actually.
Buses.
Yeah.
In particular. You ever get a public bus to school?
Oh, mate, I would have to get a 30 to 40 minute bus to school and to get home as well. So
sounds horrible.
About an hour and a half of buses I had to deal with every school day.
Especially in the morning, I feel like that's because you weren't a morning person.
No, I would wake up, be way too tired, get on the bus, and I would always put my knees up against the seat in front of me.
Yep.
And just sleep. And it was a terrible sleep. I would always be woken up by my legs being tingly. What's that called again? Pins and needles?
Pins and needles, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a terrible experience. Did you have to do much traveling?
My bus trips to and from school were like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, give or take. There was a few stops there, but I would have one mate in particular, again, like yourself, not a morning person. So I was always just music in the ears, don't talk to me. I hated the mornings, always hated them. And I would just have one mate who would constantly, non-stop, just be constantly like, hey man, do you want to see this meme? Do you want to look at this? And it's just like, man, leave me alone.
Well,
I'm not having a good time.
I didn't have a really good phone or any of the, I guess, apps.
Oh no, that's even worse.
So I think from year 7, so what would that have been, like 12, 13, all the way up till year 10, I didn't really have much of a phone to go on any of that. I wish. And I would see people would have, what was the real tiny iPod? Like it was so shuffle.
Shuffle, yeah. It didn't even have like a screen. It was just press, play, pause, yeah.
I would see people use those little iPod shuffles and I would be jealous as all hell. So jealous. You could only have like 60 songs on that thing, couldn't you?
Yeah, give or take. It was pretty shit.
Now you look back, that's fucking nuts. And my bus trips were shocking. I remember there was one time, I think it was the first day of year 8, where I got on the bus and you know when you feel a little bit older, there's something about when you're in year 7, you felt like just this little child, didn't know what he was doing, didn't know where he was going.
Most definitely.
And then for some reason, when you just go up 1 year, you feel like you know everything.
Yeah, correct.
And then when the year 7s come up, you feel like, I don't know, you got...
power.
Yeah, power.
You can tell them what to do. You can tell them where to sit.
Exactly.
Specifically at the front of the bus.
Because that's where they belong.
Yeah, if you ever made it past halfway as a year 7, you got balls.
Yeah.
Or you knew someone.
You definitely knew someone if you're at the back of the bus.
There was nothing worse. I think I still remember being in year 7. And obviously because our school was year 7s, make sure you get on the bus earlier than ever. So you'd like get to the back of the bus and like, look at me, I'm the king. The year 12s would come and they'd just be like, what do you think you're doing? And you're like, I'm just sitting at the back. And they're like, get down. You're like, yeah, all right, no worries. You like run to the front. There was always that one kid as well that would like Naruto run, like all the time to the bus space. I'm like, mate, you're not going to miss your bus. Like, just chill out.
I had one girl and when I started in year 8, she got on the bus and we had the seats where you would face each other in the middle of the bus. So there was the disabled section.
Yeah.
And so if you were sitting facing the back end of the bus, some people get, bus sick. I was going to say car sick.
Yeah.
But the both same. Anyway, she did not look good. I remember like looking at her because I was just right in front of her and she was my main view. So I remember looking at her, I'm like, God, you look pale. You look shocking. And I think I was just about to ask if she's okay. And she threw up so much milk.
Of all things, that's just so random.
Well, I guess maybe cereal.
Oh, true. Touche, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just milk all over the disabled section, thrown up, a little on my shoe. It was, I felt bad. That was a terrible first day for her. Shocking.
A memorable one, to say the least.
Yeah, at least it would be memorable.
So I don't know. School buses, man, like, just to and from. So many good times, so many bad times. Usually in the summer, the bus is really hot, it's really stinky, everyone's like sweaty. My bus like rarely ever had aircon as well. So if you didn't have like a window near you, it was game over. And you just be like there in the corner, you'd be like, ugh, like I wanted to die. Like, please. And there would always be that one kid as well. Granted, I don't know if it was on your bus. Just doesn't decide to bring like headphones or like whatever. So he's just blasting music, and it's just like, mate.
I never had that.
I
I had
don't
that
want
on
to hear
public
that.
buses.
Oh,
Public buses can be the actual worst. The type of characters you will get on a public bus.
every single minute to every single hour to every single bloody day.
Someone
it is ridiculous.
with either a banjo in their hand,
Yes.
a baby in their hand, drugs in their arm. It ranged from everything.
The rats as well.
Oh,
they're
don't.
like at the back of the bus. I'm like, what are you looking at? It's like, I don't know.
Perfect.
I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't want to look at you. Now I'm kind of scared.
I've been
You're like tapping the button, you're like, off. Please don't get off. Please don't get off. Dude, I remember it's funny actually. I had a public bus, and obviously you know where I live. And we were playing chicken. It's like, oh, who's going to hit the button first?
Yeah. The button to get off the bus
Yes.
to notify
We
the bus
all-
driver. Yep.
None of us hit the button. Went past it. We ended up being in, I'm not going to say the location, but we ended up being like a good half an hour away from where I live because none of us wanted to be the chicken.
What was the game plan?
We didn't think that far ahead because we thought, no,
Honestly.
someone will definitely cave.
Yeah.
No one caved. We got off at the final stop. The next bus wasn't for like another half an hour, and we're like, wait, no, one of us probably should have fucking just hit the
One of us
button.
should have.
And then ever since then, man, yeah, never play chicken on a bus again. It's just not worth it.
That one sounds
I was
awful.
scared. I felt distraught. I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
Did not feel safe at all.
Yeah, that's I couldn't do
Even
chicken.
like even walking to the station to get on the bus home, I used to
Yeah.
hate that. I used to be like, ugh. Just the characters around there because they'd just be like all from like the different schools. They all be like the little gangs.
Yeah, you'd get the different
Stuff
type
like
of
that.
characters you get at the station and the bus stops is just. I don't even care. Not the type of people you want to be around.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, thank you. They're
Like,
either trying to
asshole.
fight you, they're either trying to
Yeah.
ask for your money, or they're somehow making an absolute scene.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Sitting on a trolley as well. It's like, I just stole this from Coles. It's like, okay, I
Awesome.
guess.
Yeah.
Wait, man, you got a dart? It's like, no.
Yeah. You're so true about the how they'll try to act tough when you walk past and maybe you make eye contact and it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? And it's like, man, I'm just a human. I sometimes look at things and you got in my way.
Yeah, like, I can't- Could you imagine? It's like the station rats at Mike, and I'm just like this, and the mic's like fire. It's like, what are you, it's like, bro, like you've walked into my view. Like, you're in my way. Like, I don't. Trust me, the last thing I want to do is be looking at you, let alone having this altercation.
And may I say, young sir, the reason I'm looking at you is you have your shirt off and blood all over your back.
Yeah.
What has happened to you? You're an interesting character right now, and I
Oh
need
man,
to look
been at
at
the
you.
station all day. Should have seen some of the shit that I've seen.
Yeah.
Seen the guy get on and off the train 5 times.
Matt, the other night I did a session of Muay Thai and then I went over to the shops and for some reason I was really craving, what is that? It's not Big M. It tastes incredible. It's got the, it's like a chocolate type of Big M, but it's not Big M.
Oak?
No. You know how there was Biscoff flavored, there was different types.
The other, yes. I know.
Caramilk.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. The I don't know which brand it is, but I know the specific one you're talking about.
And for some reason, I was really craving that because that Caramilk little milk was incredible. It tastes amazing.
Super sweet.
But it was one of those moments where you don't drink it all the time, but when when you want something, you go, oh, I definitely
I'll
want
get
it
it.
now. Yeah. So anyway, I go get it, sit in my car, and I'm just drinking it. Mate, there is about 8 of the rattiest kids I've ever seen, ranging from the age, and this is no bullshit, they had to be 6 to maybe 11.
Bloody hell.
So young and not caring about anything. Anyone who would walk past them just tried something. Try saying something, try acting tough. There was a security guard following them around. The security guard was like trying to take a photo of them to obviously send to police or whatever. And they're all getting in the photo, and they're tagging everything they go around. Mate, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you are throwable. There, 70% of your group someone over the age of 18 could pick up and throw and get some good air. And I'm looking at all of them going, what the fuck is this?
I can't believe that. 6 years old.
There was there had to be.
That's ridiculous, man.
It would have been like a little brother or something because he was running around with this stick and like whacking things. And there was obviously like, I guess, a couple of ringleaders just trying to act as tough as possible.
Oh, you have to.
Next thing I know, there was a fight going on between them. And I'm just drinking my milk in my car watching. And then there's a punch on between them. And then undercover cops show up. They spread them off. And I'm like...
6 to 11 years. Sorry, I'm just trying to get...
set.
Yeah, I know. That's fucked to me, man. When I was 6... Just playing my PlayStation. Maybe some Bionicles.
I was about to say that. I was playing Legos, Bionicles, all these kind of things.
That's ridiculous.
I guess it's just, you got to think about their home life, I guess, because there's no way that they're going home and they've got a parent. Yeah, there's a parent that's cooking them dinner every night, making sure they go to bed on time, helping them with their homework. That's
crazy.
It's definitely their home life, the way they were acting like that, because they were actually disgusting. Just put it plain
you're just putting it straight to the point.
Plain and simple.
Not making a beeline.
If you're a group of like, say, 12 kids, and all you're trying to do is disrupt the public and just like fight anyone, and I don't know, just make a scene. Tools, absolute tools.
You're not wrong. Like, genuinely, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, but I mean, they've got a lot of time to figure it out because they're so young.
That is true. That is true.
Do you reckon those type of kids, when they get to be maybe 24, do you reckon that they're sitting there and they actually go, oh my God,
I feel like a small percentage, sure. I feel like the rest probably just stay that way. I could be completely wrong.
I think you're right too. I think they become the people we were talking about before, the ones at the station.
I feel like it's funny because in high school, and I don't want to very quickly glance over this, as much as I would like to stay away from them, it was always better if like you knew, if like not necessarily like we're best mates with one, but like knew of them.
Yeah,
because you just knew that if for whatever reason shit at high school maybe had happened, that if they saw it, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing to him?" And then it's just like, "Yeah, you're not gonna fuck with me." Yeah, because that's how I felt with a few. Because like there were a few that I played footy with.
Yep.
So then like if someone's like picking on me or whatever, they'd be like, "Wait, are they giving you a hard time?" And I'd be like, no, and then straight away they would just drop it immediately. They'd be like, no, man, like, me and Lee, chill, we're good. Yeah. We're good. It's like, yeah, I've got people.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy with them? It's always pack mentality too.
Oh, bloody oath. No, it's so intimidating, man. It actually is so intimidating.
You walk past them at the station, there'll be about 15 or 10 of them. And you look at them individually and you go, fuck me, if you were just by yourself, you would not be acting anywhere the way you're acting.
But because you're in a pack, it's a very quick. Like, I'm just gonna quickly get past you guys, and it's almost just like head down and try to avoid any eye contact, and you're almost sort of just like you just feel uncomfortable. You're actually like, I don't like this.
You know why you feel uncomfortable? Because you're sitting there going, just eye contact will create an altercation that I do not want to be. I do not want to be the center of attention for everyone looking at me and someone trying to start a fight with me. I didn't come to the station today to start a fight.
I just want us to get to the city.
I just want to go to the city. I want to go clubbing. I want to see the footy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just ridiculous.
A normal person doesn't look around trying to have a fight every day. So,
however, thankfully, you and I don't need to catch public transport. Well, we don't need to catch it all that often. Maybe the rare occasion. And the reason being is because we got our license.
You did get our license.
Which, I got to say, blessing in disguise. I wasn't too keen at first. I actually hated driving.
Were you not too keen?
For the longest. Man, I hated. I couldn't think of anything worse. I don't reckon I drove past like half an hour away from home for the first, I want to say 6 months of owning my license.
Really?
Swear on my life. I was not that. I just, no confidence at all. A few mates had lost their licenses. So then obviously I started driving, and now, man, cannot express it enough. I hate public transport. The amount of times you get fucked around, a bus replacement, you got to get off at this station to then get a bus and then get back onto a train.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, and it's not as cheap as it used to be too.
Oh, no way. The whole MYKI system's terrible.
The MYKI system is
shocking. Met cards were 10 times better.
Oh, I remember the good old Met cards. Do you remember at school you would fold them up and flick them?
Oh, and you tear them and then you just... And the best ones were like the ones that were like this far off the ground, and then be like, I remember I got a mate in trouble for that in, I think it was music, because I did it. And the music teacher was like, "That's it. Who's flicking Met cards? Detention." And I was like, it was him.
It wasn't me.
It totally wasn't the guy with the Met card in his hand who's like, him.
Did you ever have that friend in high school who would whip out their wallet and be like, "Oh man," and they'd whip out just a fat deck of Met cards?
Yeah, and it was like
Why are you collecting those?
it's such a random flex.
It is.
But that person with them
Yep.
had so much respect.
Were you one of them? Because
No, I
didn't.
wasn't. No. I just had my yearly one, man. That I
Yeah.
got given free from the school.
Oh, righto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The Met cards were so long ago, weren't they?
Oh, it was, ages ago now. Like almost, I don't. The generation now wouldn't have a clue what a Met card is.
I'm starting to forget what the Met card was. I remember you gave money to the bus driver and then they would give you a ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just just rip it, I guess.
Yeah.
And all that. Yeah, which was crazy. But no, license though. Did you? How did you go? Like obviously.
On my test?
Yeah, like learners doing your hours, then obviously your P. Because I remember, so for my Ps, it was the hazard perception test.
Yep.
And all that. And I remember everyone was like telling me, because my birthday's later on in the year, so obviously I had mates such as yourself who birthdays were before me, sort of prepping me up. Hey man, this is what you need to expect and all that. And I remember specifically being told, hey man, it's pretty outdated. There's going to be a tram. Someone hops off the tram. You want to come to a stop because otherwise you're going to hit the person. And yeah, get in there. And this video, it is so like 1990s. It is so far out there. It is ridiculous. I'm waiting for this tram. Waiting for this tram. Well, I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm just clicking as you do on the thing. Yeah, ended up hitting the person off the car. Still managed to pass though, so I don't know. It seems a bit flawed.
Yeah, the hazard test was. I thought that. I remember I went and my mum took me to the hazards test, and she knew. A few people in that office wherever I was. And I did the hazard test and I remember I was actually failing and I failed and pressed restart on the test and I restarted and I passed.
That is incredibly cheeky.
Oh, well, no, I always thought it was cheeky, right? I only found this out a few years ago.
Oh.
So I thought I was Mr.
Genius.
Mr.
Elon
Genius.
Musk.
Elon Musk over here, like that I've, hacked the system, conned the system.
And Mum was actually sitting outside the room. She got told, didn't she?
Yeah. And her friend restarted the test. Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, her friend restarted
he
it.
can never know.
That's because I would brag about it. I'd be like, oh, yeah, no, I failed. But I just didn't let anyone know that I didn't. I restarted it and I got it. No, they all knew. and they restarted for me.
He's been telling for years, too. Used to be like one of the best stories to tell.
And I think when I did my driver's test, because I think everybody never did their full, 180, 120 hours of driving with their parents.
Oh, no way.
What was the time? Was it
120 hours, 110 of daytime driving and 10 hours a night. I think, I know for a fact, I definitely forged some of mine, but because I did so many with an instructor.
I knew no one in my high school who actually did their full amount of hours. Everyone forged them. Oh. So when I got to the actual test, all I remember was they said the amount of times you need to look in the mirrors, you need to you have to be over exaggerate. You have to over exaggerate.
Yeah, Jenny has to be like,
yeah. So, mate, I was going like this constantly, and I never forget. I was doing the test and. The dreaded thing in Australia you do not want. You either have a 3-point turn or a reverse parallel park. You don't want the reverse parallel park. You always want the 3-point turn. 3-point turn is a piece of piss.
Yes, yeah. Oh, so easy. You definitely wouldn't fail having the 3-point turn.
Yeah. Oh no, did you?
Yeah, dude. Wait,
did you actually?
Hang on a second. So
you failed the 3-point turn.
Yeah, because all right. So when I went for mine. Oh no! So I failed my license because I fucked up the 3-point turn. I didn't come to a stop at a give way sign. By the way, give way meaning I don't need to come to a stop. I need to give way. I looked left and right, but he checked me mirrors, head checked and everything. But because it used to be a stop sign,
yeah,
I didn't come to a stop. Why would I come to a stop at a give way? It makes no sense. But anyways, 3-point turn. I've been practicing. My instructor and I went through reverse parallel parking. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to be reverse parallel parking. I've got this in the bag. 3-point turn, which, by the way, I do all the time now. I don't reckon I've maybe done reverse parallel park like a handful of times compared to a 3-point turn. 3-point turn, I reckon, became like a fucking 4 to 5. Bro, I dropped the bag big time. I was paddock station, just like, right, return to the. And I remember as well the morning of, because I'm like, boys, I'm going to get my license. We're
That's
going to go
the worst.
KFC, Macca's.
You can't tell people.
All the boys like, man, you're getting Macca's. I'm like, I'm fucking talking about. I've never felt so depressed in my life. Like, genuinely upset. And I just knew, because I was like, I can't go for my license again for like another 2 months.
Was that was the rule, wasn't it? You couldn't go for a certain amount of time.
So bad.
Yeah, there was. I think I didn't want to tell people when I was doing my test as well, just in case I did fail, because that was the worst. During that time in high school, it was huge to actually get your license. It is massive to be able to go drive, get Macca's, just be able to drive to school. It's huge. So if you're telling people how excited you are, you're going to drive,
especially where, like, for yourself, like where you live. Like me, if you lived sort of like outside of the specific where school was, and like towards the city, it was genuinely like, no, we're not coming to get you, mate. And he was just like, bitch, like, the bus comes like once every half an hour. For you, maybe like once an hour or some shit. It's like, bro, like, the fuck up. Just
skipping buses. You save that much time by having your license. You would then getting basically an extra hour and a half of your day to yourself.
Which is ridiculous.
So if you were to tell people the time you're getting your test and you fail, like, I didn't know you did. Then that would be the worst thing to tell people.
I remember there was a guy in our high school, in our friendship group, who failed like 3 times.
Really?
Yes.
3?
I'll tell you who it is after this. Because the funniest thing is when he finally passed for the 3rd time, he was, you know how there was always that one flog? Well, not flog, but who would have his keys and be like, like my license, and like spin his keys on his finger. He did that. I was like, bro, you failed 3 times. Like, what are you doing? I just chill out.
That's insane. Well, in my test, I should have failed. I ran a red.
Well, that's like,
and I've told this story to you many times. I was with my driving instructor at the time, because you can have your driving instructor in the car with you when you do your test. And I got up to where you can turn right or you can go straight. Anyway, so the green light was saying you could go straight, but to turn right was just a red light, so I couldn't obviously turn right. But for some reason, I saw the green, got nervous, and I was like,
fuck it.
No. So I started.
Your driving instructor's in the back. You see him in the like that mirror, and he's just like, I was just there with his clipboard up.
Yeah, well, I slowly go to start turning right, and my driving instructor, who was not allowed to do this but did this anyway, he goes as loud and over the top as you could, and I go, so I slam on the brakes and I slowly reverse back into the position I should have been, and I go, I've just failed. And I had a perfect test too. So I get back and the driving instructor gets out of the car, who was taking the test got out of the car, and I looked at my driving instructor and he goes, you were so close. And the minute I heard that, just that wave of regret and everything just took over my body, and I went, oh, my parents paid like $120 for this. Like, I paid for I paid for the test. This. And again, what you had where it's like, it's another 2 months I have to wait. All this was just going through my head, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is the worst feeling ever. And I get in and I go, thanks for your time. And he's like, all good, mate. Congratulations on your license, and good test. I'll see you later. And I go, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I walked back out, and my driving instructor was like, he passed you. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, fantastic.
Let's go. You might change his mind. My second one that I did was pretty good, because like the lady that I suppose did my test, she had the same car as me, so the whole conversation was just that. But I did stuff up as well when I went around the roundabout, and like I hit the indicator, but I also like hit the windscreen wiper. And it was a perfect sunny day. Yeah. And the lady's like, Lee, just letting you know when it isn't raining, hon, so maybe just when you get the chance. And I was just like, fuck my life. But no, it helped having the same car the second time. But so glad I got the license, because I drive like pretty much everywhere all the
just
time
now.
Just
that freedom.
It is, man, especially when you first turn 18.
Yeah. But that's when we've had friends who've lost their license for a long period of time. And I mean, sometimes it's funny in the way of, like, to us, when they'll say something like, I get my license back in a month. And we'll be like, has it been 6 months already? God, time just flies by. And they'll be like, not for fucking me.
Yeah, it's like, well, maybe just don't lose your life.
Yeah. I couldn't do...
Imagine getting your parents still... touch wood, my mum and brother still sometimes do drop me off to a friend's place and or pick me up. But, like, for work...
Yeah.
Like...
Well, I'm the same. I could not imagine... I'm now near public transport. I couldn't imagine doing my job by going by bus every day now.
Ugh, no.
Because you could do it, and
I would
actually hate life.
You wouldn't bloody want to.
I actually couldn't do my job if I lost my license.
No.
I literally couldn't. Yeah.
You couldn't.
That means I'd be out of work for, I guess I'd have to work from home in some ways. Have to adapt. But yeah, losing your license would be honestly the worst.
Not for me.
Not for me either.
No, fuck public transport, man.
But anyway, Bass, we'll end it there. You been a good moment?
Toot toot.
Oh. Toot toot.
Yeah, I don't know. Just keep it on the car theme.